people, I want to work on the worksheet that I gave you all to do GCF and LCM. Just as a reminder, GCF is that's greatest common factor. That is the largest number that will go into, and we're doing two numbers, so I'm just going to say both. Both numbers are all your numbers. If you have three, it'll be all three numbers. So it's the largest number that will go into both of these numbers. My least common multiple. That means I'm going to multiply both of these numbers, 66 times 1 times 2 times 3, 60 times 1 times 2 times 3, so on and so on, until I get a number that both of these multiply out to be, until I get to the same number. And I'll explain that a little bit better. So so here, you're looking at division. Here, you're looking at multiplication. Multiply. Multiples that both, the smallest multiple that both numbers have in common. Now you might want to pause right now and write these down. This should be in your notebook. I should have said that at the beginning. So you may want to pause right now and write this down. Okay. Okay, so let's look at 66 and 60. I'm going to start with 2. Because that ends in 6 and that ends in 0, so they're even numbers. So 2 goes into 66. I may have to come off to the side and do a little division. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. I subtract, get a 0, bring that 6 down. See how we're throwing in that division? 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6, no remainder. So 2 goes into 66. 30 times, 33 times, and 2 goes into 60, 30 times. So I'm looking at 33 and 30. What goes into both of those? Let's see if it's a multiple of 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So 3 will go into 33. 3 plus 0 is 3. So 3 goes into 3. Remember from our divisibility rules, you add the numbers to see if they're multiples of 3. Okay, so 3 goes into 33 11 times, and 3 goes into 30 10 times. Now I'm down to 11 and 10. What will go into both of those? 1. So when we get to 1, we're done. So now I'm going to switch colors. Your greatest common multiple is over here. The numbers on the side. So my GCM is 2 times 3, which is 6. I'm going to use a dot for multiplication because we're going to use X as a variable later on. I can't really see that, so I'm going to go over it in black. So my GCM is 2 times 3, which is 6. Now, GCF. Y'all let me write that? Okay, now let's look at our least common multiple. Now, least common multiple is a little different, but not much. When I think of least common multiple, see that starts with that L? We want to do this L right here. See all that? And what I'm going to do in that L is I'm going to multiply all these numbers. So 2 times 3 times 11 times 10. I know 2 times 3 is 6. I know 11 times 10 is 110. I did it like that because, well, I could have done, I didn't have to do that. Okay, so 6 times 110 is equal to 660. So you have to multiply this all the way out to 660 to get a number that both of these are multiples of. So 660 is my least common multiple. You may want to pause again if I'm going. I write pretty fast, so you may want to pause again. Let's look. Ooh, I like this one. Your second one, 44 and 14. So you may want to pause here and see if you can do it by yourself using the method that I used. If not, keep going. Where they're both even numbers, so we know 2 goes into both of them. 2 goes into 44 22 times. 2 goes into 14 7 times. And again, if you don't know that off the top of your head, you can go off to the side and do a little short division. 2 goes into 4, 2 times 2 is 4. Bring this one down. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract again, 0. So that's how I get that one. So you can go off to the side and do a little division. Nothing wrong with that. Now I'm at 22 and 7. What goes into both of those? 1. So if it's 1, I'm done. So my GCF is just this number over here to the side. And then for my LCM, I have to multiply all those together. So my least common multiple is 2 times 22 times 7. I don't know what that is. So let's go off to the side, do a little math, okay? Somebody probably already did it. 2 times 22, we know that's 44. So I'm going to do 44 times 7. 7 times 4 is 28. Write my 8, carry my 2. We're carrying 2s in the 6th grade, y'all. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 2 is 30. So my least common multiple is 308. Did y'all get it? When you did your practice, did you get it? We'll see. Let's look at the next one. 7, 56. What goes into 7 and 56? 7. Because 7 times 8 is 56. So 7 goes into 7 one time. 7 goes into 56 8 times. My GCF is just the number to the side. So it's 7. We don't have to multiply it by anything. And then my least common multiple is my L again. So that's 7 times 1 times 8. Again, we're using the dot for multiplication because the X, as we get into doing some algebra, we'll get the X and multiplication confused. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 8 is 56. So my LCM is 56. I know y'all got these, didn't you? Let's do 20 and 22. What goes into 20 and 22? I believe 2, because that ends in 0 and that ends in 2, and our divisibility rules tells us that those are even numbers. 2 goes into 20 10 times. 2 goes into 22 11 times. So you already got it. My GCF is that number over there by itself. My least common multiple is my L. 2 times 10 times 11. And so that's 2 times 10 is 20 times 11. Nothing wrong with going off to the side doing a little math. So my LCM is 220. Now let's look at 13 and 31. What goes in both of those? 1, because both of them are prime numbers. But we got to get our LCM. So 1 goes into 13, 13 times. 1 goes into 31, 31 times. 1 and done. My GCF is 1. And my least common multiple is simply going to be 13 times 31. And technically it'd be 1 times 13 times 31 and whatever that is. Well, let me go ahead and do it. So it's 13. So that's 403. And again, you can pause this video at any time. I'm just doing this so you can check your work. Ooh, 8 and 42. Both of them are even. That ends in 8. That ends in 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 42. I think 21, but I'm going to double check because this is the end of the day. 4 and 21. What goes into 4 and 21? 1, and we're done. Okay. So my GCF is 2 because it's the number over here by itself. And remember, my LCM is my L. So remember L for LCM. 2 times 4 times 21. So that's 8 times 21. 8 and 1 is 8. 8 and 2 is 16. That's 168. Check my math on that. I did that in my head. That's not always an accurate place. Let me do the last one. The last one, 16 and 60. They're both even numbers, so let's start with 2. If you know a bigger number, you can start. Actually, 4 goes into both of them, but I like to be dramatic. So 2 goes into 16 8 times. 2 goes into 60 30 times. Ends in 8, ends in 0. So it's even, divisible by 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 30 15 times. 4 and 15. Nothing goes into both of them, so except 1. So we're at 1 and done. So my greatest common factor, I have too many markers in my hand. I'm going to multiply those two. So my GCF is 2 times 2, which is 4. And remember, LCM, draw my L. Okay. Two times 4 times 15. So this is 2 times 2 is 4, times 4 is 16. I don't know what 16 times 15 is, so I'm going to go off here to the side and do some multiplication. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry my 3. That's 8. 1 times 6 is 6. There's nothing wrong with doing a little old-fashioned math every now and again. Get that scratch paper out. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so my LCM is 240. I hope this helped you all. I know you all did really, really well on the assignment because I'm looking at them coming in as I'm teaching this class, so you all worked them fast. I will do well on your test. I hope you did your test before you did this. All right, and I will see y'all again Monday. Well, yeah, Friday, Monday, whatever. See you next week.